morning. Welcome to Good Morning East Africa. My name is Wangui Ngugi, and this is the show that brings you all that you'd like to know about the world and what's happening around you. We have two wonderful guests. We have Mutio from Nigeria and Zuhra from Kenya, and they are among the people who are finding Somaliland to be a beautiful country, a land of opportunities. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. I'll start with you, Zuhra. When did you first come to Somaliland?
I came to Somaliland in 2015, the last part of 2015, and I came here as an English teacher in one of the institutions here. That's when I arrived in the country.
Oh, wonderful. How about you?
Yeah, I came in 2016 as an English language teacher and a curriculum developer.
You all came here for English?
English language and curriculum development.
Curriculum development?
Yeah.
You found a need in Somaliland for English and
Absolutely.
curriculum?
Yeah.
How did you feel that you're the only guy maybe being called, come all the way from Kenya and come do some English here?
Personally, you know, I've been outside Nigeria before, and I've got a lot of information. I've related with a lot of people, so it was not a problem. But I didn't know the difference between Somaliland.
How about you? I'm sure when you were coming to Somaliland, you probably went to Google, search for images to see, is it a desert? How does it look like? Did you find it as the way you thought?
Actually, my case is quite different.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is a well-traveled man, so we've been going to different countries, and I was supposed to have gone to West Africa, to the Gambia, to do the same process that I was supposed to come to do here.
Okay.
And he tells me, come to Somaliland and watch. Come and see, I think you're going to like it here. So I said, where am I coming to? He says, Somaliland. I'm like, I'm not coming there. And he said, no, you don't understand. This is not Somalia, it is Somaliland.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking him the question, how can I tell you this is not Kenya, it's Kenyaland?
Kenyaland.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the difference between the two? He said, maybe you should come and you will understand. For 2 months. He kept on begging me to come here and see, and I completely refused.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I just decided, okay,
Yeah.
let me give it a try. So I came on first time, I came in 2014, November. I said, let me go just 2 months. I'm coming there for only 2 months to check it out. And I'm coming with my shahada, you know. Shahada is like, you're gonna die anytime. So I'm actually telling everybody at home, if I die, please forgive me. You know what? I'm going into the war zone here. But to me, maybe this is jihad. Let me just go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came here, I was surprised.
So how was
I
your
was
first
really,
days
really
in
surprised.
Somaliland?
The first days, since we had a person who was taking care of our affairs, so it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, it was so welcoming, you know.
Mhm.
It was really, really welcoming. Complete opposite of what I was expecting. At first, like in my stay in Somaliland, I would say it was after the first, you know, the honeymoon time, right?
Oh, okay.
Now you get to the real world of Somalia. It was a little bit hectic. It was rough for me because we used to organization and all these kind of things, and this is something I lacked here. I was like, oh no, there's so many things that are not going there with the pace they should go. I found it a little bit slow. Coming from Kenya, Nairobi, we move like this. So for me, it was a little bit of a challenge up until I learned who Somalilanders are. I tell people, when you come to Somaliland, you're going to learn something called patience. And that's what I learned. Patience, and that's the key.
So our tempo here is a bit slower than
Yeah,
Kenya.
our tempo is very slow.
Not only in Kenya, I think the rest of the world.
The rest of the
Come on.
Yeah, if
You
you've
gotta
been
keep
to
it.
Nigeria, I think you're going to feel dizzy. By the time you enter Lagos or you go to any other part of the city, you would not be able to cope there. You will run out of that side because everything here is very slow. You have to take it easy. So as a manager of institution, you have to take it easy with people. If you don't understand them, and you don't understand the nature of the people, you're going to have problem with everybody. So you have to take it easy and say, no, you are no longer where you were. You are now in a new place, and you have to follow the
you
trend.
have to slow down.
Yeah, a little. But sometimes you have to also push them to be able to move on with the pace of the world. Yeah.
Now, talking about you going to the market, did you experience maybe a language barrier?
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, the two things that really struck me. There's one thing that was odd and another one which I really liked. Okay, like there was one time I went to the market and I had a problem with the barrier, so I would take somebody with me. Always I had to go somebody with me to buy stuff, right? And one thing that really struck me is the generosity of Somalilanders, right? There was two ladies sitting next to each other, and they were both selling lemons, right? And I'd gone to buy lots of lemons because I wanted to make lemonade. And I go to this lady and I say to her, how much is a kilo of lemon? She says to me, I said, can I get two kilos of lemons? And the lady says to me, my sister, why don't you buy 1 kilo of lemon from me and buy the other kilo of lemon from her, because they're coming from the same place. Seriously, I was blown away.
Wow.
The last time I heard of something like that was when I was in Medina, in Saudi Arabia. I saw something similar to that, but I mean, to see that from our own African people, that really, really blew my mind. I just felt like I just hugged that lady, you know. That was something that I really liked, you know. It just.
Actually, things like this happen in the northern part of Nigeria. The houses are like that. If, for instance, you maybe you went somewhere and you are not with your goods, and somebody comes and asks for it goes directly to your shop, not to their own shop, and you're not there. They will help you. They will go to that shop and bargain on behalf of the person, and make sure that the person doesn't lose anything without the presence of the person. Though in the southern part is direct opposite.
What happened?
Well, there they will ensure that even while you are going to, they will be dragging you like this. That thing is not good. Don't go there.
Okay,
you
now
know?
come here.
Come to this side. You know?
This side.
So those kind of things. But it was strange to me. We have that northern Nigerian culture. You know, when you talk about patience, when you talk about content with whatever they have, you know, there's no much discrimination among themselves. This gap, when you talk about the relationship they have among themselves, the rich does not underrate the poor, you know, even in their appearance, you know. But when you go to Nigeria, you see flashy cars and flashy clothes like that. Then you know the difference between the rich and the poor. But in appearance here, they are the same. You know, even if you say a minister, you will not know this is a minister. You know, they are so down to earth in their way of life. That's one thing I enjoy.
That's great. Now, talking about food, you usually eat fufu and gari in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Do you miss fufu?
Not really, because my wife is here. And we have an alternative.
Okay.
You know, there's wheat. You know, wheat is also can be prepared like fufu. Then we also have this vegetable. One vegetable very common here, the spinach. That we only that we use, and also we have this pounded beans converted to sauce. So that we also use just to ensure that we don't miss home. So technically, I have a backup, a kind of alternative
So what about
close
the
to
Somali
that.
food? What about the Somali food? Do you have them in home?
Somali food is everywhere, and it's normal. Only pasta, that is pasta, rice, right?
Yeah.
Only those two, and sometimes they have different names. They have pasta cano, they have rice cano,
It's not the same thing.
you know, all the same. So it's just a blend of this. They will say with meat or with fish or with this like that. So, but it's still the same rice and spaghetti. That's what I feel that
So you
most commonly.
You miss this jollof rice.
Jollof rice. No, I can't miss that. Since my wife is here, you know, my wife will always prepare something. As long as it's rice. The only thing is palm oil. You don't have palm oil here. So the alternative is just to use the whatever that is available. But when you talk about preparing jollof rice, we still try as much as we can. but it's still not the same. You can't get the real one like that. But fufu is out of question. You can't get fufu here.
Sarah, have you tried camel milk?
Oh, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
At first, I drank it. All of us got stomachache. We had diarrhea and we had all these kind of problems.
Because you drank too much.
I think maybe we got the wrong milk. Maybe it wasn't.
No, that happens to the first.
Yeah. They say that it was the first time. Like you have to get immunized, huh? A little bit of that. But one thing that really I'm still trying to get used to, even after my 4th year. I still do not distinguish when Somalis are talking and when they are literally fighting. That is something that really, really scares me. At first, I used to be really scared. I would go, I'm like, why are you fighting? She said, no, they are talking. Okay? So that are the things. And another thing that I was talking about when we were going to buy, like, even milk or anything, you go to the shop. In my country, when I give you something, if I give you money, I'm going to give it to you in your hand.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm used to. But here, somebody will be shouting. So you don't even know he's shouting at you or shouting at somebody else. And then when he's giving you back your change, he's just going to do boop. He's going to throw it
And throw the money at you,
I
yeah.
used to, seriously, I would like, why do you do that? And he said, what? I said, why do you throw money? He said, no, I didn't throw it. I gave it to you. I'm like, no, you didn't. You
But
have to pick that money.
actually,
back
not
to you."
only money, even if you go to a restaurant, they throw the food to you. So it was strange to me for the first time. They will just throw and throw to you. So you have to catch it if you are not careful. Yeah.
Absolutely. That really kind of scared me. I'm like,
But in a more serious note, if you look at some organized restaurants, not those the local one, they train them properly and they come to you politely and they discuss with you. But during that after dhuhr, right? That time is rush hour. If you don't pick it on time, another person will take it. So you have to forget about courtesy. They throw it to you, you start eating. If not, you'll not have anything at the end.
Do you miss ugali?
oh man, I do. I seriously do. We don't have it here. There was one time that I went to the shop and to the markets and I found they brought some unga from Kenya. And I was so happy. It was only for a month. It was Ramadan. I never saw it again. So I'm used to spaghetti now.
Do you think we need to introduce it to African foods and cuisine?
Sure, you should. I mean, Somaliland now needs to be recognized, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be diverse. It needs to accept other people's stuff, right? They need to be open to receive these other
There's
things,
a good
right?
news in this regard. Now, Yemenis are coming to this country
Absolutely.
and they are opening restaurants and they're introducing their cuisine and food and delicacies. And it's absolutely great.
Amazing. It's amazing. I've been to all those new people who have been coming in, and I love their restaurants. Actually, they have beautiful. They've brought in varieties at least for outsiders. You know,
Yeah.
it's
At
good.
least you can have a
Yes,
alternative.
I did try the Somali ugali.
What is it?
Somali ugali, where is it?
Yeah, they do have it. One of my brothers said, "You want ugali? I'll take you there." Then he takes me to the market and he shows me the ugali. It's kind of really, really soft. And has a lot of oil and it's yellowish. I'm like, thank you.
That's mukimo or what?
Somehow.
But anyway, talking about culture shock, other than the food that is different, have you experienced any culture shock?
Culture shock to me, I don't think it was, other than the little things that I told you about. Every other thing for me kind of really looked normal. It fitted into what I was looking for when I came to Somaliland. So to me, I found it actually really good to be here. Other than after you've learned the patient and you've understood the people, everything else to me seems really, really okay. I don't know, maybe.
I think in terms of appearance, one of the things that shocked me is the rapper. Having men rapping, Yeah, you call it Mawis, right? So it was strange to me. That's women. In West Africa, you have to have women use that.
Yeah.
Men don't do that. If they do that, they'll think that something has happened to them. So when I came and I found out that even during the day, people were using that, I was shocked. I said, no, this shouldn't be the case. Then I realized that even in Indonesia, they have that. I think in the Malaysia. So it's like in the Asian, Arab world and the Horn of Africa region, even in Ethiopia, they do the same. So there's a class of that appearance in terms of cultural dresses. You know, and by the time you see Nigerians having their own cap this way, you get to think whether they're coming from maybe from the bush, you know. So that's what I found that in terms of appearance. Well, other than that, I think there's no other thing. Khamis is normal dress, is everywhere. You know, there's no, and this is most of the time Somalis wear the Western shirts with their wrapper. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, the wrapper
Looks beautiful.
and the Western
With
dress,
What do
yeah.
you call that
So,
thing?
go.
The go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like
Yes.
it. They look nice.
So now you all came here as teachers.
Yeah.
I don't know what inspired you now to start investing and have your own institutions.
Actually, I resigned as a teacher in 2016 after my 16 years of experience in education. So, and I decided to relocate to Nigeria, August 2016, with a plan to establish my own business. Because in Nigeria, after 16 years, enough is enough, you know, in the classroom. So, but as God would plan that, I was supposed to serve as an agent for the IOU in Nigeria. So I was asked to send my CV. When I sent my CV to them, the response was different from what they asked me to do. Because they said the procedure to serve as their representative there is to just send the CV. So I sent that. Then when they replied, they said they needed my service in Somaliland to help them with their English language program. So that's how we started discussing. Then I started asking them questions. But because I still have the plan to establish my own institute or go into my area practically, so I believe that even relocating doesn't affect me. After some time, I will still go into my business. Wherever I find myself, I can still continue with my things. So I came here. And I managed to work with them for like 2 years or 1.5 years. Then after that, I kick off with my business that I planned a long time ago for more than 10 years.
Tell us about your school now.
Yeah, Column Educational and Technical Center is an institution that partners with two different institutions. One with Al Madina International University in Malaysia and a JP International Exam in the UK. Our major focus for now on 5 different points. One is English language, any English language program, whether IELTS, SAT, TOEFL, academic writing, functional English course. We have that in place with the curriculum and the materials in abundance. We have the computer lab where students practice the speaking and listening. Then we have criminology. You know, if you truly want to go into law and you want to practice as a prosecutor or even judicial officers, you need to go deeply into the modern law system. One of them is that criminology, which is not available in the country. Apart from that, we also have journalism, because all these things are certified by JP International Exam in the UK. Then journalism at diploma level. Then we have the technical department. We have electronic engineering, when you talk about the renewable energy like solar installation, wind turbine, repair of laptop, photocopy, and others. The training part is also there. And the last one is architectural engineering. You know, civil engineering is common here, but architectural engineering that could have brought the unique system. What I found out here is more of copy and paste system of building. So to come up with unique thing, you have to empower the youths and give them the practical skill that will make them to be useful to themselves. So we decide you can see some of these courses are relevant courses that can change the nation. You know, that's why we use our motto as education for universal productivity. Awesome. So our concern is to make the youth to be more productive to their society and to themselves.
So at what level are your the education you offer?
Is post-secondary level, but English language, we have the secondary, primary level for that. But most of the courses are post-secondary level. So that's why we award the diploma at the end of the program. It's more of like intensive year course. Some of them are like 4 months or 6 months, depending on the nature of and the level of the students too. Some of them will pass through the placement test, and if they pass, they move to the level where they belong. And if they're supposed to spend maybe like 1 year in an ordinary context, their performance will push them to another level, and they might spend like 9 months or 6 months like that.
Awesome.
You're also in the education sector, and you're in a certain school. Maybe you could tell us something about it?
With me, at first I started teaching adults, young adults, 18 years, from grade 10, 11. And when I was there in the school, I found the Somali children, the Somali students, willing to learn. They wanted to learn English so badly because their curriculum is in English, but they don't even understand the language itself. So me being a teacher of Form 3s, and I have to teach them things I'm supposed to teach in KG, that really struck me. I knew I had a dream of opening a school, a kindergarten for that purpose, but I didn't know it was here. I had that dream 16 years ago, right? But I never knew it was here. So after I've seen my students in the classroom wanting so bad to learn English, and they're really struggling with it, I asked myself, what can I do to the next generation of Somaliland that they don't have to struggle like the ones that I'm having right now? Perhaps if I could do my part and intervene at their younger age, maybe I could curb this. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, who cares? But I will do something. And that's when I said, I'm going to take them from the time they're young. And that's why I went into the early childhood education. So I could have students in Form 3, they are struggling to make a simple sentence. And alhamdulillah, right now in my school, my kids in KG1, they can read the whole book.
Wow.
They can read the whole book.
Amazing.
Yes, so I know that maybe the contribution I'm making is not that big as yet to be seen, but soon in this generation that is gonna come from me next in the next coming years, they're going to make a difference in this country.
What's the name of the school?
Muslim Ambassadors International.
Where is it located? Maybe there's somebody who's like, I need to go there.
Yes, it's we are behind Ramad Hotel on your way to the airport. It's on the airport road behind Ramad Hotel. You will find us there.
You just give us the location bit.
Yeah, the direction is just the same. It's around the Jair area. They call it Jair, around Al Khair, so near Total, around that side. That's where it's located. It's not far from the Argesa Bridge here.
How many students do you have in your school?
In an ideal setting, we have a classroom of 20 students, because we wouldn't want a teacher to be struggling with over like 50. The nature of the classrooms here. You have like 60 students in one class with one teacher. So there won't be productivity. The outcome will not be there. So what we decide to do is to fix them in one teacher, 20 students. So we have in the morning session, we have like from 7:30 to 12. Then we have the afternoon after by 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So we have different courses going on simultaneously. We have 2 campuses now. Initially we had one, then we just moved to the second one because of the number. We no longer have the space to accommodate the students on that side. So we decided to move to the other side of the building. Yeah.
What about your teachers? Are they from Nigeria too?
Yeah, we have different teachers from different countries. Currently, we have teachers from 3 different countries: Nigeria, Pakistan, and Gambia at the initial stage. So for now, others will be coming very soon, inshallah.
Awesome.
You said that your family is also here.
Yeah.
How is the cost of living, knowing that you have a big family you're taking care of? How is the cost of living in Somalia?
If you know where you belong, you will know how to cope with the system. I don't think it's all that too expensive per se. Compared to outside world, because everything is imported, things are very expensive. But for the fact that I've been here for like a year before my family joined me, so I knew how to cope with the operation, and things is just with normal rice and spaghetti. And perhaps if I want to just Nigerianize the food, then I can decide to come with wheat like that. I don't think it's something copeable, as far as I'm concerned.
I think for me, there's a slight difference. There is, in terms of electricity here, it's quite expensive. In terms of water as well, it's quite expensive. Yes, as the food, you can get it on different, but when I came here, I first felt like this country is very expensive. And it's not only from me, from even the friends of me who came from America and all this, they say Somaliland is really quite expensive. And it's true. Yes, you could find things for the, for the lower people, you could find this, and for the upper one, but there's this middle class which is there, which is something missing somehow, right? So I would say not too expensive, but it's not as cheap as well.
Because that's why I say that if things are imported,
class friendly.
if 90% of what we consume are imported, you should expect that. You can't compare it to where you have production. Countries where they produce, things will be cheaper. Even building of house is very expensive here. If you give me $10,000, I will build a very powerful building in Nigeria. But all that, just $10,000.
Here it costs like 100,000.
Just ordinary land, that is it here. And you can't even get that in the town there. That's to tell you how challenging things are. Because this is not a production nation. It's more of a consumption nation. They consume more and they produce less. And when that happens, that's why we're looking at a way of empowering the youth. Get them the skill needed for them to be independent. Because most of the courses in the universities are more of theoretical courses. They want to be in the office. They don't want to do the handwork. We could have helped them to become independent. You can't be rich if you are doing these theoretical courses. You have to do something that will make you to be independent, to be able to manage your time properly with that. So a case like that, it might take a long time. But I think with the vision of most of the entrepreneurs in the country, because Somalis are entrepreneurial, all right? So if you expose them to things, they get that and they utilize it properly. So I believe that with the influx of foreign experts coming into the country, things will change. It might take time, and I'm sure things will become cheaper. But for now, you cannot compare it to the neighboring nation where they produce. So averagely, I think it's fine compared to Djibouti and some other parts the way they also do that kind of importation of that.
So having been here for quite some time, how many years have you been here?
Like 2.5 years.
Yeah. Do you think Somaliland has enough resources for investment and to do business and to produce, do agriculture, industrialization? Do you think we have that?
Yes. I believe that Somaliland is an unexplored setting, perhaps because people have not been given the proper information, because just like me, I didn't know the difference between Somalia and Somaliland. So people are scared of coming to this place. So even some of us that recruit experts from outside, we have to write an entire essay, to be able to explain in detail. I was trying to even convince some entrepreneurs in the U.S. because I'm an editor for a newspaper in the United States called Pakistan Time newspaper. So I had to write an article, post that, and share with those entrepreneurs to tell them that they should come to Africa. And if they are coming to Africa, one of the best places to invest is Somaliland. Very peaceful. Wow, if you have electricity 24/7, I think productivity will be high, particularly if you go into industrialization. And that is what you have here, 24 hours electricity, then business will flow properly. Where you have electricity, crime rate will reduce because there will be light everywhere. But where there is darkness, you should expect anything abnormality to go on there. Crime rate will increase. So we're trying, and I strongly believe that If people come to this country, they're not going to have much problem to establish themselves. As long as they have the resources needed and they are positive minded. If you are negative minded, you cannot enjoy this place.
Exactly.
You have to be progressive minded if you want to enjoy Somaliland. Somalilanders are progressive minded people, and you have to also be a very peaceful person if you really want to enjoy the nation. That's my observation so far.
That's true.
Will you tell your family and your friends back in Kenya to come here? To
Absolutely. Somaliland is the land of opportunity. There's so many unexplored areas that need to be tapped in. And people can come in and look for themselves. Don't be confused about Somaliland and Somalia. These are completely two different. This is an oasis of peace. Absolutely, I love Somaliland. It's peaceful. Whatever you think you have the skill to come in, come explore the market in Somaliland. I believe actually in 10 years' time, I have seen this country growing so fast that I have never seen anywhere.
Awesome.
And you know, these people were coming out from abroad and they are coming back to bring in their expertise and something that they've learned from outside. I believe in 10 years or 10 to 20 years time, this country is going to be a complete different place.
So, what is your plan now? Now that you have your institution,
Yes.
what's the next big thing in the next 2 years?
My next big thing is, right now I'm in KG. I'm just having KG. We started grade 1. So I want to bring in the primary section now. I want to take the same kids that I have nurtured myself to the second level of their grade, right? So that next, I don't want anybody to contaminate them. I want to see my fruit bear, my effort bear fruit, right? So that is my next step. I want to start off the Muslim Ambassadors International Primary.
Wow.
And in the process as well, I'm trying to see how we can get that recognition from outside and take our exams from abroad, and our kids can compete internationally. That's what I want to do.
Awesome.
Inshallah.
Awesome. Mashallah.
When we talk of tourism, you know, there are different reasons why people would come to Somaliland. They'd come for business, they'd come for, but there's also the tourism sector. Have you had an opportunity to travel around the country, and what have you seen? Is it a beautiful place to be?
Yeah, I've been to this side and this side. When I say this side, I mean you talk about Gebele, Burma, that's this side. When you talk about this side, you talk about Berbera, Sheikh, Bra, up to Las Anod. I've been to Las Anod, which is close to Puntland, right? Gorowe side.
The border,
Yeah, the border side. So there are a lot of places, but if you also look at their weather conditions, not the same, right? If you go to Berbera, they have a beach there where you can swim. I've been there like 3 times, like that. And if you go on this side, it's greener than this side here. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah. So it means that I've toured different parts of the country. So, and it's all the same nature of the people in Hargeisa is the same way you have them on the other side. Very accommodating. You know, when they meet you, even before you ask them anything, they will start asking you thousands of questions. You know, but the biggest challenge for me is that every time they call me either Kenyati, that is the language. Yeah, I say, are you Kenyati or Ugandese? You know, so because they are used to Kenyans and Ugandans here. You know, so they've never heard of Nigerians in Somaliland.
African experts in here are from
Kenya
or Uganda.
or Uganda. So every time they see me, Kenyati, Ugandese, and they just say hi. You know, there's no need of arguing. But if you ask me further, then I can respond to you. You know.
No,
So-
my part is different.
Okay.
They will come to me talking to me in Somali. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Somali. How can you not speak your language, huh? I'm like, because Somali is not my first language and I don't know it. I'm trying to learn it. So I have to always explain to people that I am really not Somali. Seriously, they kept on telling me until I started doubting myself. I felt like maybe I'm Somali somehow, and I am not.
Maybe it's Suju.
I'm not even a Suju. I am not. I'm absolutely not.
You know about Somali too.
Yeah, very well.
How many Somali words can you speak?
Oh, a lot.
Like,
Skawaran.
Kawaran.
No, actually, when I say like that, my son tells me, you're speaking it in English. You have to say it's Kawaran, you know?
Yeah, you have to enunciate.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
frictionless continuance. You have to roll it properly.
Friction, no?
Yeah.
You have to roll
So, it's
your I think mine still sounds a little bit English.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm working on it. So I can ask like Skawaran, Hafate Kawaran,
يعني
Aroti Kawaran.
Come on.
If you want to keep something that, you can just say Afade.
Father.
That is very simple. Instead of Afade Kawaran, you just say Afade. Right?
Yes, you can.
So that's easier. Instead of just Afade Kawaran, they will know you are Ajnabi.
That's right.
I think this is the best Subahwan accent show
Mm.
ever.
Yeah.
So good.
well, thank you so much for making time
Yeah.
to come to the CBA.
Yeah.
We also have a wonderful show.
My
I hope
pleasure.
you liked it.
Yeah, very fantastic. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Today.
Yeah. Yeah.
From us here at CBA TV, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. And until tomorrow, have a wonderful day.
All right. Yeah, thank you.
And that's our show for you today. Catch us tomorrow at the same time at CBA. Have a wonderful day.